You clicked on this at exactly the right moment. That timing isn't random. That precision isn't coincidence. Only winners find this message when they're supposed to find it. And the fact that you're here right now means the universe just confirmed something about you that you've been sensing, but maybe haven't fully trusted yet. You are operating on winner frequency, even if your current circumstances don't reflect that yet. There's been a signal running through your life, hasn't there? A pattern that keeps emerging, showing you glimpses of what's possible for someone like you. Moments when everything aligns perfectly, when opportunities appear from nowhere, when you feel this unstoppable momentum building inside you. These aren't accidents. These are confirmations that you've been selected for something much bigger than what you've been settling for. The universe has a winner identification system that most people never trigger because they've been programmed to think like victims, to expect limitations, to prepare for disappointment. But you're different. You've been tagged by cosmic intelligence as someone capable of handling winner-level reality, someone who can be trusted with abundance, someone who won't waste the gifts they're given. This winner identification process has been happening your entire life, even during the moments when you felt like you were losing. Especially during those moments. Because here's what winners understand that others don't. Every apparent setback was actually a setup for a comeback that wouldn't have been possible without that exact experience. You've been in winner training without realizing it. Think about how elite athletes are identified at young ages, not because they're already champions, but because they demonstrate certain qualities that indicate championship potential. The same process has been happening with you, but instead of physical abilities, the universe has been observing your consciousness patterns, your resilience quotient, your capacity to maintain hope when logic suggests surrender. Every time you chose to believe in something better, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, you were demonstrating winner consciousness. Every time you maintained your vision when everyone else thought you were being unrealistic, you were proving your worthiness for winner-level reality. Every time you refused to accept less than you knew you deserved, you were broadcasting a signal that caught the universe's attention. The reason you found this video right now, at this exact moment in your life, is because your consciousness has reached the frequency where winner-level information can be received and integrated. You're no longer operating from survival mode, you're operating from success mode. And success mode requires a completely different understanding of how reality works, how opportunities emerge, and how the universe responds to people who know they're meant to win. Most people spend their entire lives trying to convince themselves they deserve good things. But you've moved beyond trying to convince yourself. You've entered the realm of knowing. This knowing doesn't come from external validation or logical reasoning. It comes from a deep cellular recognition that winning is your natural state, that success is your birthright, that abundance is the universe's default setting for someone operating at your frequency level. You've been receiving winner signals your whole life, but you were taught to interpret them as luck, as coincidence, as random good fortune that might not happen again. But what if I told you that what you call luck is actually your natural state leaking through the conditioning that taught you to expect struggle? What if what you call coincidence is actually the universe's precision delivery system responding to the winner frequency you've been broadcasting? Every time you've walked into a room and felt like you belonged at the highest level, every time an opportunity appeared just when you needed it most. Every time you've made a decision that felt risky but turned out to be exactly right. Every time you've trusted your instincts over everyone else's advice and it paid off. These weren't flukes. These were confirmations that you have access to winner-level intelligence. Let me paint a picture of what winner frequency looks like in action. You know that feeling when you walk into a business meeting or social gathering and you immediately sense where the real power is in the room? That's not social intelligence. That's winner radar. You know how sometimes you meet someone and within minutes you can tell whether they're going to be successful or not, even before they tell you anything about their background. That's winner recognition technology. You've been tuned into something most people can't even detect, because most people have been programmed to tune into limitation frequency. They're scanning for problems, expecting obstacles, preparing for worst-case scenarios. But winners scan for possibilities. They expect breakthroughs. They prepare for success scenarios that seem impossible to everyone else. This scanning system isn't something you developed overnight. It's been refining itself through every challenge you've faced, every moment when you chose to believe in something better despite what your eyes could see, every time you've maintained hope when logic suggested you should give up. Your capacity to perceive beyond the obvious has been expanding, and now you're at a threshold where that expansion is about to accelerate exponentially. Think about how certain songs immediately transport you to specific moments in your past, how certain smells can trigger vivid memories, how certain environments instantly shift your energy state. Your consciousness works the same way with success patterns. When you encounter winner frequency in any form, whether it's a successful person, a breakthrough opportunity, or information like what you're receiving right now, your system immediately recognizes it as familiar territory. This recognition isn't based on past experience, it's based on future potential. Your consciousness can perceive the success patterns that you're destined to embody. This is why certain people inspire you immediately, while others, regardless of their credentials, leave you feeling flat. This is why some opportunities excite you at a cellular level, while others, even if they look good on paper, feel wrong in your bones. The reason certain messages activate something deep inside you, while others feel like background noise, is because your consciousness has become a magnet for winner-level information. Not entertainment, not distraction, not comfort, but activation codes that remind you of who you really are beneath all the programming that taught you to think like everyone else, to want what's safe, to settle for what's acceptable instead of reaching for what's extraordinary. Your winner frequency has been broadcasting a very specific signal, and that signal has been attracting exactly the right information, people, and opportunities to prepare you for this moment when everything shifts into a higher gear. The synchronicities haven't been random. The timing hasn't been coincidental. The perfect storms in your life haven't been punishments. They've been precisely orchestrated preparation for winner-level reality. You've been through the fire lately, haven't you? The pressure, the uncertainty, the moments when everything you thought you knew about success seemed to crumble. People may have counted you out, overlooked your potential, made you question whether you were really meant for the level of success you've been dreaming about. But every moment of that struggle was forging something inside you that can't be broken. You've been in the cosmic gymnasium building winner muscle you didn't even know you needed. But here's what nobody explains about the winner development process. Those difficult periods weren't random suffering. They were systematic preparation. Every challenge you faced has been precisely calibrated to activate specific aspects of your consciousness that you'll need to navigate winner-level reality. The struggles weren't punishment. They were initiation into a completely different way of operating in the world. Think about how champions are made. They don't just wake up one day with extraordinary abilities. They go through training that looks impossible to outsiders, that breaks down their old patterns and rebuilds them stronger, faster, more resilient. The pressure isn't meant to destroy them. It's meant to transform them into someone capable of performing at levels that seemed impossible before the training began. Consider how a diamond is formed. It starts as ordinary carbon, but under extreme pressure and heat, over enormous periods of time, it becomes one of the hardest, most valuable substances on Earth. The pressure wasn't trying to destroy the carbon. The pressure was creating the diamond. The same process has been happening with your consciousness. Every betrayal that broke your heart was teaching you to trust your inner knowing above all external voices. Every failure that crushed your ego was showing you that your worth isn't dependent on outcomes. Every period of isolation was developing your capacity for self-companionship and inner strength. Every financial struggle was purifying your relationship with abundance, removing the blocks that would prevent you from handling massive success with wisdom. That's what's been happening to you during the difficult periods. Your winner consciousness has been developing. The parts of your identity that were built around limitation, around accepting less than you deserve, around believing that success is for other people, those parts have been systematically deconstructed so that a completely different operating system could come online. This is why the old solutions stopped working. This is why the strategies that used to bring you small wins suddenly felt empty and exhausting. This is why relationships and situations that once felt comfortable started feeling constraining. You weren't failing at life. You were outgrowing life as you knew it. Your consciousness was expanding beyond the boundaries of what your previous reality could contain. The universe was preparing you for winner-level existence. But here's what makes this preparation process so sophisticated. It wasn't just developing your capacity to handle success. It was also developing your capacity to create success from nothing, to generate opportunities where none existed, to see possibilities that others miss entirely. Every time you had to find a way when there seemed to be no way, you were developing winner-level resourcefulness. Every time you had to maintain faith when all evidence suggested you should give up, you were developing winner-level certainty. Every time you had to keep moving forward when you couldn't see the path, you were developing winner-level trust. These aren't just psychological qualities. These are the specific consciousness skills required to operate at levels where most people's minds can't even imagine success being possible. The universe doesn't waste anything. Every moment of confusion was building your tolerance for uncertainty, which is essential when you're creating unprecedented levels of success. Every period of isolation was developing your capacity for independent thinking, which is crucial when you're operating outside consensus reality. Every time you had to find strength you didn't know you had, you were discovering resources within yourself that exist beyond personality, beyond biography, beyond anything you thought you knew about human limitation. You've probably felt it building recently. This internal pressure, like something inside you, is expanding beyond the boundaries of who you thought you were. It's uncomfortable, because transformation into winner consciousness always is. The old identity is dissolving while the new one emerges, and that space between who you were and who you're becoming feels like chaos. But here's what nobody explains about this transition zone. That chaos is actually coherence, reorganizing itself at a higher level. Think about what happens when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. For a moment, it's neither caterpillar nor butterfly. It exists in a transitional state that defies easy categorization. From the outside, it looks like dissolution, like everything is falling apart. But what's actually happening inside the chrysalis is extraordinary. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings and learn to fly. Its entire cellular structure dissolves into what scientists call imaginal soup, a primordial substance that contains the blueprint for an entirely different form of life. From this seemingly chaotic soup, butterfly cells begin to emerge and organize themselves into wings, antennae, and all the structures necessary for flight. The caterpillar's crawling consciousness is being transformed into the butterfly's flying consciousness. This isn't just evolution. This is metamorphosis into winner consciousness. The caterpillar could never imagine what it would be like to fly because flying consciousness is completely outside the realm of crawling consciousness. The same transformation is happening with you right now. That's where you are right now, in the quantum transition zone, where your old operating system is being upgraded to run winner-level programs that were impossible in your previous configuration. This transition isn't random. It's been orchestrated by your higher self, the version of you that exists outside linear time and can see the entire trajectory of your success story. That version has been seeding your current reality with exactly the right challenges, opportunities, and wake-up calls to prepare you for this moment when everything shifts into winner gear. The pressure you've been feeling isn't pressure to become something you're not. It's pressure to stop pretending to be something you never were. It's the winner in you demanding to be expressed, demanding to be lived, demanding to be embodied without apology or compromise. This pressure will only intensify until you stop resisting it and start cooperating with it. Think about what happens when you try to hold a beach ball underwater. The harder you push, the more forcefully it wants to rise to the surface. Your winner consciousness works the same way. The more you try to suppress it, minimize it, or convince yourself to be realistic, the more powerfully it pushes toward expression. But here's what's fascinating about this transition zone. You're not just developing new capabilities. You're recovering capabilities that have always been yours but were suppressed by conditioning that taught you they were impossible. Children naturally expect magic. They assume that anything they can imagine can happen. They don't distinguish between realistic and unrealistic goals because they haven't yet learned that distinction. Winner consciousness is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to doubt yourself, before you learned to settle, before you accepted that struggle is normal and ease is suspicious. You're not developing winner consciousness. You're recovering it from beneath layers of programming that convinced you to play small. The discomfort you're feeling isn't the discomfort of growth. It's the discomfort of old limitations dissolving. It's like removing a cast after a broken bone has healed. The cast served a purpose for a time, but now it's constraining healthy movement. The process of removal feels strange and vulnerable, but what emerges is stronger and more capable than what was protected by the cast. Your old identity served a purpose. It kept you safe during a phase of development when you needed protection, but now it's constraining the movement of your winner consciousness. The dissolution isn't destruction, it's liberation. What emerges from this transition won't just be a better version of who you were. It will be a quantum leap into a form of consciousness that operates by entirely different principles. Something is building inside you right now as these words land in your consciousness. Can you feel it? That electric sensation of recognition, like every cell in your body is saying, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. This isn't just inspiration. This is activation. The winner frequency that's been dormant in your system is coming online. Every spiritual tradition throughout history has described this moment in different language, but they're all pointing to the same phenomenon. The moment when human consciousness recognizes itself as winner consciousness, temporarily having a limited experience. When this recognition moves from intellectual understanding to cellular knowing, everything changes. Not because the universe suddenly starts responding to you differently, but because you finally start responding to the universe as the creative force you've always been. What you interpreted as losses were actually course corrections. What looked like missed opportunities were the universe protecting you from settling for less than what's truly aligned with your winner destiny. Everything that seemed to go wrong was actually going exactly right, according to a timeline you couldn't see from your limited perspective. The delays weren't punishment. They were preparation for handling winner-level success. The waiting wasn't wasted time. It was integration time, allowing your consciousness to expand enough to receive what's been prepared for you. Think about how a concert pianist prepares for a performance. Years of practice, scales, exercises that seem boring and repetitive to an outside observer. But every repetition is building the muscle memory, the neural pathways, the unconscious competence required to perform at the highest level when it matters most. Your difficult experiences have been serving the same function, building the consciousness infrastructure required for winner-level performance. But we need to go deeper into this preparation process because it's more sophisticated than most people realize. There's something about your specific journey that I need to share with you. Something that will change how you see everything that's been happening in your life. Something that will help you understand why this moment, this exact moment, is the turning point you've been unconsciously preparing for your entire life. Let me share something personal with you that will help you understand why you're here at this exact moment. 3 years ago, I was sitting in my apartment at 2 a.m., staring at bills I couldn't pay, questioning everything I thought I knew about success and abundance. I had been studying consciousness, quantum physics, manifestation, all of it. But nothing was working the way the books and videos promised it would. I felt like a fraud, talking about winner principles while my bank account said otherwise. I had all the knowledge, all the techniques, all the positive thinking tools that everyone swears by, but something fundamental was missing. I was trying to add winner strategies on top of victim consciousness, like trying to run high-performance software on an outdated computer. The system kept crashing. That night, something shifted. I stopped trying to convince myself I was a winner and started investigating what was blocking me from embodying winner consciousness naturally. What I discovered changed everything, not just for me, but for thousands of people who've since applied these principles. The breakthrough wasn't learning something new. It was unlearning something false. I realized I had been operating from the assumption that I had to earn my place in winner reality, that I had to prove myself worthy of success, that I had to overcome my limitations and transcend my circumstances. But that entire framework was backwards. Winner consciousness doesn't come from overcoming your limitations. It comes from recognizing that the limitations were never real in the first place. They were perceptual distortions created by a consciousness that hadn't yet remembered its true nature. It's like someone who's been wearing colored glasses their entire life, suddenly taking them off and realizing the world was never the color they thought it was. That night, I accessed something I call my essential winner consciousness, the awareness that exists beyond all the conditioning, beyond all the stories about why success is hard or why I might not deserve it. This consciousness doesn't doubt, it doesn't question, it doesn't need proof or permission or perfect conditions. It simply knows that winning is its natural state. When I stopped trying to become a winner and started being a winner, everything changed. Not gradually, not through years of hard work and personal development, but immediately. The opportunities that had been invisible suddenly became obvious. The people I needed to meet started appearing in my life. The resources I required started flowing naturally. But here's what was most shocking. None of my external circumstances had changed yet. I was still in the same apartment, still had the same bills, still had the same challenges. But my relationship to those circumstances had completely transformed. Instead of seeing obstacles, I saw opportunities for creative problem solving. Instead of feeling victimized by my situation, I felt excited about the game I was playing. Within 6 months, my entire reality had reorganized itself around this new frequency. Not because I worked harder, but because I worked from winner consciousness instead of victim consciousness. The same actions produced completely different results because they were coming from a completely different source. If what I'm sharing is activating something deep inside you, if it's touching that place where you've always known you were meant for more, then hit that subscribe button right now. Subscribe not just to this channel, but to this frequency, to this community of people who refuse to settle for average when they know they're capable of extraordinary. Subscribe to stay connected to the energy that transforms lives. Because here's what I discovered in that moment, and what I'm going to share with you right now. The secret that the entire personal development industry doesn't want you to know, because it would put them out of business overnight. Here's what the success experts won't tell you about winner consciousness, because it threatens the entire industry built around struggle and gradual improvement. Winners don't work harder than everyone else. They work from a different frequency entirely. They don't overcome obstacles through force. They operate from a reality where obstacles dissolve naturally. This isn't positive thinking or mindset work. This is quantum mechanics applied to consciousness. In quantum physics, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed. The act of observation collapses all possibilities into one reality. Your consciousness is the observer. Your attention is the force that collapses infinite potential into specific manifestation. When you consistently observe yourself as the winner you truly are, reality has no choice but to reflect that observation back to you. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your winner self isn't just a future possibility. They exist right now in the quantum field of all possibilities, and they're broadcasting their frequency constantly. Think about how radio works. There are hundreds of stations broadcasting simultaneously, but you only hear the one you're tuned into. All the other signals are present in the same space, but they're not accessible to your awareness unless you adjust your frequency dial. Winner reality works exactly the same way. Your job isn't to become them. Your job is to tune in, to match their vibration, to live as if the gap between who you are and who they are has already closed. This isn't pretending. This is recognizing what's already true at the quantum level. Every time you have an inspired idea about your success, that's your winner self downloading information to you about what's possible. Every time you feel a sudden surge of confidence, that's your winner self lending you their energy. Every time you catch yourself thinking thoughts that feel bigger than your current reality, that's your winner self influencing your present moment consciousness. This collaboration isn't metaphorical. It's actual quantum communication between different versions of yourself existing in parallel realities. Your winner self has access to information about the path to success that your current self can't see yet. They know which choices will accelerate your evolution and which ones will slow it down. They know which people you need to meet, which opportunities you need to recognize, which risks you need to take. They're constantly sending you signals, but you have to be in the right frequency to receive them clearly. This is how consciousness operates outside the constraints of linear time. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously in the quantum field. Your winner self isn't waiting for you in the future. They're broadcasting to you from the eternal now, trying to help you recognize that the success you're seeking isn't something you have to create. It's something you have to allow. But here's where most people get stuck. They think they have to convince themselves to believe in possibilities that feel foreign to their system. They think they have to force positive thoughts over negative emotions. They think they have to fake confidence until they feel confident. This approach creates internal resistance because it's based on the illusion that you're not already a winner. The truth is, you don't need to become worthy of success. You need to recognize that you already are. You don't need to earn your place in winner reality. You need to accept that you've always belonged there. You don't need to overcome your limitations. You need to see through the illusion that limitations define you. Every limitation you think you have is actually a misperception created by focusing on the wrong frequency. When you tune into winner frequency, those limitations don't disappear because you overcome them. They disappear because you realize they were never there in the first place. It's like waking up from a dream and realizing that all the problems in the dream weren't real problems. They were just experiences in consciousness. The shift everyone's talking about, the global awakening that's happening right now, you're not watching it from the sidelines. You're part of it. You're one of the nodes in the network that's anchoring winner frequency on this planet. Your individual transformation isn't just personal. It's contributing to a collective elevation of consciousness that's been building for decades. You've probably noticed that things that used to work in the world aren't working anymore. Systems that used to seem stable are collapsing. People who used to accept limitations are demanding more. Old patterns of success through struggle are being replaced by new patterns of success through alignment. This isn't chaos. This is reorganization. The entire structure of how success happens is being upgraded to support winner consciousness. Think about how technology has evolved. We went from computers that filled entire rooms to smartphones that fit in your pocket and have more processing power than NASA used to send people to the moon. The same kind of quantum leap is happening with consciousness technology. The old paradigm required years of hard work, gradual improvement, paying dues, climbing ladders, and earning your way to success. The new paradigm allows for instantaneous transformation, quantum leaps, miraculous breakthroughs, and success that appears to come from nowhere but is actually the result of consciousness alignment. This is why you felt different lately. Why old patterns suddenly feel impossible to maintain. Why you're craving bigger challenges, more authentic success, impact that actually matters. Why small goals that used to motivate you now feel like settling. You're being called forward because the world needs people who remember their winner nature, who refuse to accept limitation as reality, who live like miracles are natural. But here's the crucial part. This window of accelerated transformation won't stay open forever. Right now, the barriers between intention and manifestation are thinner than they've ever been. Right now, the universe is responding faster to clear, coherent winner energy than at any other time in human history. Right now, if you align with winner frequency, changes that used to take years can happen in weeks. We're living in what quantum physicists call a phase transition, a moment when the fundamental structure of reality shifts into a new configuration. Like water suddenly becoming steam at the boiling point, consciousness is suddenly becoming capable of things that were impossible just moments before. You're not just experiencing personal transformation, you're experiencing species-level evolution. The waiting season is over. Not because external conditions have finally aligned, but because you've finally aligned. Not because you've become worthy, but because you've remembered you always were. Not because you've earned it, but because earning was never the point. You belong in winner reality, but belonging there requires embodying it now. The universe has been preparing you for this moment your entire life. Every challenge that tried to break you actually broke you open to receive more. Every disappointment that seemed to set you back actually set you up for something bigger. Every time you had to find strength you didn't know you had, you were building the capacity to hold the magnitude of what's coming. The synchronicities are accelerating. The opportunities are multiplying. The right people are showing up at exactly the right time. The resources you need are flowing toward you from unexpected directions. This isn't coincidence. This is what happens when someone finally aligns with their winner frequency and the universe can deliver what's been waiting in the quantum field of possibilities. What you desire isn't separate from you by time or space or circumstance. It's separate from you by frequency. And frequency is something you can adjust right now in this moment without changing anything external. It starts with a simple recognition that changes everything about how you approach success. What you want wants you back. The success you've been imagining has been imagining you too. The abundance you've been calling in has been calling you forward. This principle operates on the understanding that consciousness is not localized to your brain or even your body. Consciousness is a field that permeates everything, and individual awareness is like a radio tuning into specific stations within that field. When you desire success, you're actually resonating with a frequency where that success already exists. Your desire is proof that you have the capacity to tune into winner frequency. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to perceive it as possible. But most people treat their success like they're trying to pull it toward them from a distance. They think they have to work hard enough, wait long enough, prove themselves worthy enough to eventually attract what they want. This approach creates resistance because it's based on the illusion of separation. It assumes that you and your success exist in different locations and you have to somehow bridge that gap. The quantum understanding is completely different. You and your success exist in the same field of consciousness. You're not trying to attract it. You're trying to align with it. The difference is subtle but profound. Attraction implies effort and distance. Alignment implies recognition and resonance. When you align with winner frequency, you don't just draw success to you. You discover that you were already connected to it. That the separation was an illusion, created by focusing on the wrong frequency. It's like suddenly realizing that the song you've been trying to hear has been playing all along. You just needed to tune your radio to the right station. This is why manifestation can happen so quickly sometimes. It's not that the universe suddenly scrambled to create what you wanted, it's that you suddenly aligned with what was already available in the quantum field of possibilities. But there's something specific you need to understand about this alignment process that will determine whether you experience gradual improvement or quantum transformation. Take a moment right now and comment below with this exact phrase: I am ready to receive my winner reality. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you're sending a signal directly to the cosmos that the playing small era is officially over. This isn't just engagement, this is energetic declaration. This is you interrupting the old program and installing the winner program. Because here's what makes all the difference between people who achieve extraordinary success and people who just dream about it. Coherence. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions around a singular vision of winner reality, you create what quantum physicists call coherence. And coherence is the most powerful creative force in the universe. It's how particles behave differently when they're observed. It's how intention changes the structure of water. It's how your focused attention can literally reshape the fabric of reality. But coherence is more than just positive thinking or visualization. Coherence is when every level of your being resonates at the same frequency. Your conscious mind, your subconscious beliefs, your emotional body, your physical nervous system, and your energetic field all broadcasting the same signal simultaneously. Most people live in a state of internal contradiction. Their conscious mind wants success, while their subconscious mind fears it. Their emotions crave abundance, while their nervous system is programmed for scarcity. Their words speak confidence, while their body language communicates doubt. This creates what physicists call destructive interference, when different waves cancel each other out instead of amplifying each other. But you can't fake coherence. You can't pretend your way into winner alignment. Your body knows when you're telling the truth and when you're performing hope. Your nervous system can detect the difference between genuine winner certainty and wishful thinking. This is why affirmations sometimes feel empty and why visualization sometimes feels like fantasy. If your whole being isn't on board, you're not creating coherence. You're creating internal conflict. Real winner transformation happens when every part of you says yes to the same vision. When your mind can see it, your heart can feel it, your body can sense it, and your spirit can recognize it as home. That's when the impossible starts becoming inevitable. That's when life stops feeling like something that happens to you and starts feeling like something you're actively creating. Think about how a laser works. Regular light is incoherent, photons traveling in random directions at various frequencies. But in a laser, all the photons are aligned, traveling in the same direction at the same frequency. This coherent light is so powerful it can cut through steel, perform delicate surgery, or transmit information across vast distances. The same photons that were powerless when incoherent become extraordinarily powerful when coherent. Your consciousness works exactly the same way. When all aspects of your being align around winner frequency, you become a human laser capable of cutting through obstacles that seemed impossible, performing precise manifestation, and transmitting your vision across any distance to attract the people and resources you need. Coherence isn't about convincing yourself that something is true when part of you doubts it. Coherence is about discovering what's already true at such a deep level that doubt becomes impossible. It's about finding the frequency where what you want and who you are aren't two different things. It's about accessing the dimension of consciousness where your desires arise from your winner essence rather than from a sense of lack. Your authentic winner desires, the ones that arise from your deepest nature rather than from comparison or conditioning, already exist in a state of coherence with your essential being. When you connect with these desires, you don't have to work to create alignment. You discover that alignment was there all along, waiting for you to stop forcing and start flowing. The question isn't, how can I make myself want this enough to manifest it? The question is, what do I want so naturally, so authentically, that every cell in my body says yes without hesitation? When you find that answer, manifestation stops being work and starts being expression. You're not trying to create something. You're allowing something that's already trying to create itself through you. If you're ready to stay connected to winner frequency, if you're ready to surround yourself with others who are living at this level of success consciousness, then subscribe. Not just to stay informed, but to stay coherent. To remain aligned with the version of reality where your dreams aren't fantasies, they're blueprints for what's already unfolding. Subscribe to this community of winners who understand that success isn't something you chase. Success is something you embody. It's something you are before you have it. It's a frequency you broadcast before circumstances reflect it. The more of us who embody winner frequency, who live like extraordinary success is natural, who expect miracles as automatically as we expect the sun to rise, the more the world reflects that truth back to all of us. Your individual alignment contributes to collective winning consciousness. Your personal transformation becomes a gift to everyone whose life you touch. When you stop playing small, you give others permission to play big. When you stop settling for less, you show others what more looks like. When you embody winner consciousness, you become a walking demonstration of what's possible. But embodying winner consciousness requires moving differently through your days. It requires expecting different outcomes. It requires preparing for success instead of protecting yourself from disappointment. It requires speaking to yourself like someone you deeply respect and believe in. It requires making choices from the place you want to be rather than the place you've been. Think about how successful people move through the world. They don't ask for permission to succeed. They don't apologize for their ambition. They don't shrink themselves to make others comfortable. They don't wait for perfect conditions to start moving toward their vision. They embody success consciousness before they have success evidence. The universe is a vast field of consciousness that responds to the signals you're constantly broadcasting. Every thought is a transmission. Every emotion is a frequency. Every action is a vote for the reality you want to experience. Every word you speak over yourself is programming your subconscious mind. Every choice you make is creating neural pathways that become automatic patterns. Most people broadcast randomly, unconsciously, sending mixed signals that create mixed results. They think success thoughts in the morning and failure thoughts in the evening. They feel confident on good days and doubtful on challenging days. They take inspired action when they feel motivated and self-sabotage when they feel uncertain. But winners learn to be intentional with their transmission. They maintain coherent frequency regardless of external circumstances. They know that consistency of signal is what creates consistency of results. They understand that their internal state determines their external experience, not the other way around. When you consistently broadcast winner frequency through your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you create an irresistible magnetic field that draws success to you naturally. Opportunities start seeking you out. The right people start showing up at exactly the right time. Resources start flowing toward you from unexpected directions. Synchronicities become so frequent they stop feeling like coincidences and start feeling like the natural order of your reality. You're not asking for too much when you envision extraordinary abundance. You're not being unrealistic when you expect breakthrough success. You're not deluding yourself when you feel certain that everything is working out for your highest good. You're aligning with the frequency of truth that your conditioned mind has been trained to doubt. but your winner consciousness recognizes immediately. The old paradigm taught you that you have to earn success, prove your worth, pay your dues, and gradually climb toward what you want. But winner consciousness operates from the understanding that you already are what you seek to become. The success isn't separate from you. The abundance isn't outside of you. The power isn't something you have to develop. You're remembering what was always true. What energy are you embodying right now in this moment as these words land in your consciousness? Are you being someone who expects extraordinary things to happen? Are you being someone who trusts that what they want is already on its way? Are you being someone who knows that setbacks are setups and delays are divine timing for even greater success? Because this is how reality responds to you, not based on what you say you want, but based on what you're consistently being. And you get to choose what you're being in every moment. You get to choose whether you're going to be someone who waits for evidence before believing, or someone who believes so strongly that they create the evidence. Every moment is a choice point. Every breath is an opportunity to align with winner frequency or default back to limitation programming. Every thought is a chance to broadcast success consciousness or victim consciousness. Every interaction is a moment to embody the energy of someone who knows their value or someone who's still trying to prove it. The version of you that achieves everything you've been dreaming about isn't waiting in the future. They exist right now in this moment, in the quantum field of infinite possibilities. They're not hoping things will work out. They know they will. They're not trying to become successful. They are successful. They're not seeking abundance, they embody it. Your job is to close the gap between who you're being right now and who they're being right now. Not through external action, though action will flow naturally from alignment. Through internal recognition. Through remembering that the winner you're seeking to become is the winner you already are, temporarily forgetting their true nature. I'm curious. What's one old pattern or belief about success that you're ready to release to make space for winner frequency? What limitation are you letting go of as you step into this alignment? Drop one word in the comments that captures the energy you're choosing to embody moving forward. One word that represents the winner frequency you're committing to broadcast. One word that serves as your energetic signature to the quantum field. Your declaration of who you're being from this moment on. Your commitment to winner consciousness regardless of what your current circumstances look like. Because winners understand that circumstances don't create consciousness. Consciousness creates circumstances. Think about the most successful people you know or have studied. They didn't wait for their circumstances to support their vision before they started living like their vision was inevitable. They embodied success consciousness when their bank account said they were broke. They spoke with authority when they had no credentials. They moved with confidence when they had no evidence that their plans would work. They understood something that most people never learn. Reality is always a reflection of consciousness, never the cause of it. When you change your frequency, reality reorganizes itself to match that frequency. When you embody winner consciousness consistently, winner circumstances become inevitable. This isn't positive thinking or fake it until you make it. This is quantum alignment with what's already true about you at the deepest level. Every cell in your body contains the blueprint for extraordinary success. Every strand of your DNA carries the codes for abundance. Every beat of your heart is synchronized with the rhythm of infinite possibility. If this resonated with something deep inside you, share this video with someone who's ready to remember their winner nature. When you share these quantum consciousness principles, you create an energetic ripple effect that accelerates manifestation for both you and them, expanding collective winner awareness and reinforcing your own understanding of these truths. Because here's what happens when you live from winner consciousness consistently. You become a frequency generator that affects everyone in your field. Your elevated energy gives others permission to elevate theirs. Your courage to expect more shows others what's possible. Your willingness to embody success before you have evidence inspires others to trust their own potential. You're not just transforming your own life. You're contributing to the transformation of collective consciousness. Every time you choose winner frequency over victim frequency, you make it easier for the next person to make that same choice. Every time you expect miracles instead of problems, you add to the field of miraculous possibility.